It happened suddenly. He was walking down the street as usual, with headphones in his ears, staring at the screen of his phone, not noticing the people passing by, and the noises of the big city. The day was unremarkable, but it was moments like this that were known to change everything. One moment, and everything was different. He felt the ground beneath his feet as if it were going down. His eyes began to ripple, and the air began to press in from all sides. A strange tingling sensation swept over his body, and everything around him began to grow rapidly. No, not growing. It was he who began to shrink. Panic came over him instantly, but it was too late. In a few seconds, he found himself in a crack between sidewalk tiles, no bigger than a pencil. People passed by without noticing him. Cars whizzed by like hulks from another world. He tried to scream, to call for help, but his voice was lost in the noise of the city. All he could do was hide from the feet of passers-by and hope someone would pay attention. And someone did pay attention. She spotted him by chance, leaned over curiously, looked at him point blank, as if she couldn't believe her eyes. A girl, tall, confident, with a gleam in her eyes, as if she had just found something very interesting. She was not frightened, did not scream. On the contrary, her eyes were filled with lively excitement. She carefully picked him up from the ground with 2 fingers, like a doll, and, without a word, hid him in the pocket of her jacket. He tried to resist, but it was pointless. She held him like a toy, gently but firmly. Her house was quiet, cozy, but it seemed like a prison to him. At first glance, she was caring. She had prepared a tiny dwelling for him out of a box, set it up like a mini-room, even gave him food. He had hoped that she would help him regain his former height, find the cause of this nightmare. But eventually he realized she wasn't going to let him go. She was playing with him, as if it were her favorite thing, or something funny and ridiculous. Sometimes she spent hours watching him run around the table, giving him tests, climbing up her hair, hiding under the pillow, overcoming mazes of objects. Sometimes, pressed against the palm of his hand, she would whisper something like, "You're so cute when you're scared," and then he would realize that she liked his helplessness. There were times when he tried to talk to her seriously, explain that he was a human being, that he had a family, a life, dreams, but she would only smile. "I know, but you're my find now, and finds don't come back." Days passed, and he was beginning to lose his sense of time. Everything around him was too big, too foreign, and she, the only one around, was becoming more and more unpredictable. Sometimes tender, almost affectionate, sometimes cold and cruel. He became to her something between a pet and a toy that must not be bored, or else, in a box, in the dark. He tried to escape, several times, but she found him each time, as if she could sense him. And each time she punished him, not painfully, but humiliatingly, closed him in a jar, left him on a shelf, ignored him. He began to question whether he now wanted to be returned to normal size, or at least whether he wanted to be free, because freedom now seemed distant and incomprehensible. All he had left was her face bent over him with a slight chuckle, and a voice repeating, "You don't know what to do without me, do you?"